Wet, I don't need the rain. Make a nigga wait, I don't play no games. He bought me everything, I'ma make him pay. He treat me different, cause I'm not the same. He call me Christmas, I'm his candy cane. Smarter than the rest, I give him different brain. This that sweet love, I felt I need a pain. It tastes like candy, I'm a sugar bait. I text that nigga up, I'm the one he claim. I turn the nigga on, all kinds of ways. Eat me like I'm munchies, like he Johnny Blaze. He doing donuts just to see me glaze. It tastes like candy, all in his mouth like he drinking on a brandy. Trying to make me plan A, so I took a plan B. Thought it was sweet, cause he...
What's up, baby? Filoosh Talk, episode number 3. We here tonight. What's going on? Dame in the building, baby.
Man, what's going on with y'all, man? What's going on with y'all? It's been a long week. Long week, man.
Man, all I know, the Eagles won, right? And the Phillies coming on tonight.
We need that win.
Philly, we try and celebrate tonight. Phillies to the World Series. I'm calling it. Let's celebrate some real stuff tonight. What y'all think? Phillies gonna pull it out tonight?
I definitely think they're gonna pull it off, man. I definitely think they're gonna pull it off. They've been doing their thing, for sure, man. We definitely going to the World Series. Oh, hopefully we go to the Super Bowl. The way Jalen Hurts playing, man, he doing his thing, man. Doing his thing.
Man, he definitely doing his thing, man. My man, the receiver. What's my man name that's killing him right now, man?
Who you talking about?
The Eagles receiver, man. The best receiver in the NFL right now, man.
Hold on.
Major shout out to the Eagles, man. Let's keep going hard on them. But I wanted to hop into something, man. Something been bothering me all week, man. I'm starting to show off tonight. You know what I mean? I had a long week, right? So, just to give y'all a little bit of the background story, I have 3 sons and 1 daughter. Matter of fact, before I even get started, shout out to my daughter, Mahasa, her birthday tomorrow, man. Like,
okay, happy birthday.
I gotta give her a major shout out. You know what I mean, man? Lord bless her with many more, man. You know, take her out to eat, get her whatever she want, man. We gonna figure it out for sure.
Burn a hole right through them pockets,
man. Yes, sir. But I wanted to get into something, man. I want to talk about something. I got 2 boys by a young lady, right? And I've been trying to get full custody of these boys for some years now. And I want to tap into something that's real important. Because I believe that...
Hold on. Let them know how old they are first.
One of the young men is 16 right now. The other son by this young lady is 19, get ready to be 20.
Okay.
My 16-year-old, he get ready to be 17 March 8th. But, you know, they was little guys like 10 and 12 when this custody battle started. This is very important that we tap into this because we're going to have a lot of fun shows. We're going to have a lot of fun on Filoosh Talk. But I also want to get serious sometime and a little intimate, a little personal, and tell my story too. So like I was saying, I'm fighting this custody case for some years since these guys was young guys, right? So to give you a little background on a little bit of what I've been through in this case, my son was like 13 years old. I haven't been able to keep him with me yet. But he was like 13 years old. He was in the house with some young men at one of his family members' house. Young man had a gun. Gun went off, went through both of his legs. 13 years old. So at that time, I'm like, damn, I really need to get my son, man. You know, I'm saying this the whole time. Fighting back with the mom. Basically, she would never let me get my son because I was paying child support, right? So, – Fast forward to now. Last year, he's 15 years old. Mom comes to me. She sent her boyfriend to meet me, man. I'm going to tell you how deep this story is. Her boyfriend calls me and asks to meet me.
I mean, that's thorough. I mean, that's
Okay,
thorough.
man to man, you know, he wants to talk to me. We going to talk like men, right? So he said, man, listen, your son got into some trouble, man. You need to really get your son. I say, brother, I've been wanting that forever. And guess what? That's no problem. But I want you to go home and talk to your girl, your wife, your fiance, whatever you call her. And let her know I want to get this on paper. Because I've been doing this for a long time with cops involved, a lot of BS involved. And I never get to keep my son. So, boom. Turns around. I don't know the trouble he was in again. Turns around. We go down to the courts, family court. I get my son. I get full custody of my son. Me and this young lady have an argument at the child support part. She's supposed to be taking me off of child support this day and giving me full custody of my son. Okay? So everything worked out. The lady say, are you ready to take this man off of child? She didn't know it can all happen this day. But, you know, I make things happen when it's supposed to happen. So, you know, she say, this can happen today? The lady said, yes, all you have to do is agree. So my kid's mom say, no, I want him to pay the rears. So I said, you're going to have me take my son with the clothes on his back and they still take money out my check, young lady? Yes. So we had a disagreement there. Long story short, a couple weeks later, son has an argument at the house. I still gets my son, still giving this young lady child support, right? He's at my house. He's doing wonderful. This is last school year.
Right? Living with you, right?
Yeah, he's living with me. Okay. I'm sitting him down, having heart-to-heart talks, man, because I felt like my son was becoming lost in these streets, man, becoming one of these kids that feel like he ain't had nobody, man. And I was trying to let him know the repercussions to being in the streets. And that I love him and I do anything to rebuild him, restore his self-esteem, his whatever he's going through, I'll help fix it. If he need counseling, anything. So I'm talking to him every night. His mom takes him back one day while I'm at work because she wanted to still receive child support, right? So she's living in another city in Baltimore, Maryland. Took my son down to Baltimore, Maryland. I have full custody of him at this time today, right? This story is very important.
How was she able to take him, right? And you still got full custody?
Oh, that's a very good question. Aunt asked me, how was she able to take him? And I have full custody. That's a very important question. I went to every entity you can think of, man, because I couldn't believe it. And the reason the law told me was that he's 16 now. He's almost considered a runaway. So it was nothing they can do with the mom at this point, right? Okay. So that happened, right? So
I was gonna say, I swore that was kidnapping.
Yeah, it should be. So I couldn't do nothing through the law, man. I tried. I went everywhere, tried to figure it out. Everybody turned me around. So now, fast forward, about 3 days ago, no lie, man, 5 in the morning, I'm on my way to work. A police officer calls me, man, 5 o'clock in the morning, man. My heart dropped, man. This is why I got to tell this story, man, because I had to also pray that it could have been worse. So the police officer said, your son has been caught with a loaded handgun. And he has my son there on speakerphone. Okay? This is a very horrific situation because I believe it could be avoided. And this is happening to a lot of young men where they start their life off with these charges, with these gun cases, with possible felonies. So I'm trying to be a proactive parent and figure out how can I change this. And
I think, And one, we have to ask ourselves. We have to have a real conversation with ourselves and ask ourselves, what could we do different? You know what I mean?
Well,
We don't have. It's not a lot of old heads out here spitting game to them like they supposed to, like the old heads we had. I mean, spit a little more game, spent a little more time. So we got to figure out a way to change ourselves in order to change them. We can't talk their heads off about shit, and we ain't on the we ain't on the straight and narrow, or we got our shit with us. You know what I mean,
well, see, this here for me is strictly about parenting and us making the right choices. Because at some point, with the young men that we raising right now, if there's a willing father out there that's working hard, that put time in, that put work in, he should have the opportunity to raise his son. If it don't work out with the woman, I think this is very important that we start talking about this, because there's a small percentage of men that get the proper chance to raise their kids after breaking up with the woman. And it's just my opinion. A lot of things got to change. We're gonna have a much bigger show talking about how can we be better fathers and what more can we do. But this just was a touching situation for me, and I'm trying to figure out, different ways to handle it. But I just had to let everybody know I don't want to be on this podcast just talking surface talk. I'm going to really get deep, man, and I'm going to figure out a way to change stuff to the best of my ability.
right? I mean, we got big plans for the podcast. We got big plans. So if you are someone who owns your own business and you are in need of some help, please reach out to us. Come through, come interview with us so we can talk about ways to get these young men out the streets and doing something, getting into a little bit of paper, because it's important. It's important. You know what they say, idle minds, man. Idle minds. Quick question though, Dane. What was that conversation like when you talked to your youngin'?
Well, I don't think my son yet see how serious it is. He's been incarcerated for a couple of days. He didn't get the bail yet or to really talk to the lawyers and everything, but it's just been a tough thing for me because I really love my son, man. And I feel like he would have had a better chance and a better opportunity with me. And I don't think there's no reason why some of these fathers don't have a clear opportunity no matter what. Now, if the father is not around or he can't do these things, that's understood. But for women that's single mothers and they haven't worked out with the father, why not give the young man to the dad? And I understand the daughter stand with the women, teach them how to be women, take care of themselves, everything.
Yeah, at some point,
I respect that.
Yeah. At some point, though, it takes a man to raise a man. So at some point, it should be an understanding that, look, if we don't make it, you go your way and I go my way.
Oh man, we got a deep comment here, man. I'm sorry to cut you off.
What's that?
Young lady said, I believe there's a small percentage of men that wants to raise their kids after dealing with the woman. Oh, that's a deep one, man. Well, see, I'm not really touching on the men that don't love or want to be around their kids. The guys that don't say happy birthday, don't tell the kids I love you, don't know if their kid been hit by a car, don't want to get in touch with their kid. I'm not really talking about them. I'm talking about.
Know they ain't shit.
I'm not talking about those guys. I'm talking about the guys that got love and can put some work in with a young man and teach him and show him the way.
The ones that try to reach out, that try to, make that connection and try to get their kids, the ones that are told that they can't, the ones that don't necessarily know how to, go about getting their kid, those are the guys we talking about. Right. Not the ones that don't want to be there, not the ones that told you I ain't want kids. We ain't talking about those guys. You talking about the guys that do want their kid, but have to have that fight.
No, you know what end up happening, man, and this is repetitive in our community. We don't get the kids as men when they're young. Is when they get to be teenagers and they really talking back to their mom. They say, "Oh, go with their dad." They done stuck their chests out. They 16, 17. They been sitting in the basement. They ain't been cleaning up. They ain't been taking out the trash. They ain't been taking care of the house. They don't even shovel out front when it snow. You know, so after all that, you know, they give them to us with a lot of dust on their back. And then we, you know, we got to damn near punch them in their chest at that point.
Right, because by then, it's kind of too late. You know what I mean? They sizing you up by then. You know what I mean? You don't have a chance to groom them the way that you needed to and to show them how to be a man.
And sometimes they even questioning you. You know what I mean? Like back in the day, we just ain't grow up like that. You know,
or they got some sort of you know, hostility towards you.
Yeah,
I mean, because that happens a lot.
Yeah,
and they don't necessarily know how to, you know, speak their mind about their anger or explain how they feeling. But they mind and already, you know, talk bad about you. Fucking.
Well, you know that go on a lot, man.
And shit, and you know that go on a lot.
A lot, man.
It happens, and that's the reason why some of these kids, these sons, you know, don't have that relationship with their pop. Not all of it, but most of it time is like that. You know, the mom done bad mouth them, talk all types of shit. Your dad don't do this. Your dad don't do that.
Okay, this is another good question. So why does the son have to live with his father for them to be actively raising their son? Good question. Now, it's hard for a man, right? I'm gonna break this down in a simple form, right? I'm gonna give you my situation that I'm talking about personally. Me and my kid's mom have two different ways of doing things, and we have two different ways of living. So it's hard for me to correct everything in 1 day or 2 days on the weekend, or if I'm out to eat with you. These young men need the full picture of a man. Waking up, how he operates, how he pays bills, how he handles things when he up, when he down, how he deal with women.
How he control his emotions.
Right. They need a true example of a man. It's hard to see in a small amount of time. So with men, it's hard to understand this, but it's hard for a man to have a lot of time and a lot of money. So we either sacrifice time to get money, or sometimes we, you know, some guys make it to where they have a lot of ample time, but it's hard. That's what I'm saying. So it has to be a sacrifice on both sides. That's my point. And if you have two parents that's not on the same page, this discussion is hard to have.
Well, I think that's all part of being a parent is the sacrifices we make. You know, you have to sacrifice time, and that's for male or female. You, in order to pay these bills, make sure these lights stay on, make sure bellies is full, you have to sacrifice the time spent with them in order to work and get this money.
Right.
I mean, so I feel like that's just parenting in general.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right, but it's hard to have both. You know what I mean? We have to find an equal playing field, and we have to communicate properly as parents, even when it don't work out. This is my point. We have to start coming to a better mutual agreement. We have to still be able to communicate. We have to show positivity in front of our kids and to our kids.
Well, that's what I was saying last show. I mean, the real of it is we don't, before we had these babies and before we, you know, have sex with these women, we don't have those talks about parenting. Right. Because people parent different. And I said that before. I mean, some people believe in, you know, spanking, some don't. So we definitely got to have those conversations and sit down with each other and talk about parenting before we lay down with somebody, before we decide to have a baby. Because when the time comes, now y'all got this baby and you win it. Now y'all bumping heads and having disagreements.
Yeah.
And that's the real of it. A lot of times you have a baby with somebody, and then shortly after that, y'all separate. And that's
but for
harsh
young
reality of it.
for young men and women, God willing, everybody is making very smart choices today as we speak. Make smart choices on who you're dealing with, who you choose to have kids with, who you lay down with. All that stuff is serious, man. We can play much as we want. All that stuff is serious. It could be your future. You know, sometimes, God, you go through years of stress, man. You playing this game the wrong way. You go through years of stress. I'm telling you, man.
Right.
I be telling my son,
at least
like,
18 years of stress. That's a fact.
I be telling my sons, man, chill. Don't make no kids yet, man. Get yourself in order. Get to know yourself. You know what I mean?
Right. So, I mean, we're going to touch up more on that whole topic at a later date.
For sure.
Because it's definitely an important conversation.
And hopefully we get to bring some females up here, like some mothers, and get their perspective. Like, I'm not bashing nobody. Whatever I said on this show is not to bash anybody, man. I just feel it in my heart, like,
just telling your truth.
I'm taking accountability myself, too, for whatever I'm missing in this situation. You feel me?
Right. And, you know, we're going to bring our sons up here because we both got sons around the same age. Mine's is 19. You said what yours is?
I got a 19-year-old, too. He'll be 20 November 11th, man.
Yeah, so we definitely going to give them the opportunity to come up here and express themselves and, you know, tell us how they feel about us. I think that's important, too.
In an intelligent way. We ain't going to bash each other. We're going to do this the right way so we can be effective and change a couple narratives in our community.
Right. And hopefully, you know, build some bonds between father and son. That's the whole goal.
Yes,
to build those bonds and relationships and get back to that.
Because it's definitely some good fathers out here, man. Shout out to all the men that put work in, that really care about them kids. And shout out to all the women that work hard and doing their thing, man. It's all respect on both sides. Trust.
Right. Definitely shout out to them women, man, because a lot of single moms out here that's doing their thing. They've been doing their thing. And a lot of great men came from, you know, single mother households. So shout out to moms, man, because they do their thing.
Major shout out.
Right. So, yo, something I wanted to talk about, man. I've been noticing, you know, shit flowing on the internet and shit.
What's going on this week on the internet, man?
Now, I done seen this post where these group of women on Facebook made a list of 30 places they would refuse to go on a first date, right? And I just want to know what people think. What y'all think about this? Ladies, I'm talking to y'all mostly. What y'all think about this? I'm going to read this list of 30 real quick, all right? We got the Cheesecake Factory, Applebee's, Chili's, Chipotle. Ain't nobody. If you're taking somebody to Chipotle on your first date, nigga, you done already lost. For real. Olive Garden, the movies. Now, I can agree with the movies for sure. I mean, for first date, I think that's, you know, I can agree with the movies. Your house, I can agree with that too. They said any fast food chain, Buffalo Wild Wings, Wingstop, Red Lobsters, any buffet, IHOP, Denny's, gym, church, Starbucks, coffee dates, ice cream dates.
Oh, man.
You know, Netflix and chill, nightclubs, hookah bar, you know, Wi-Fi, sports events. Now, the sports events, I think that's kind of crazy because what if I got tickets to the Super Bowl, right? And I want to take you, and you going to say no to the fucking Super Bowl?
And let me tell you, John will go to a Temple game with you. You talking about the Super Bowl?
I'm saying it's a sports events. They don't want to be taken out on the
Well,
first
that
date
was for a class of people that we're not sure who made that up. Because I think
it was a group of women, dog. A group of women.
Let me tell you something. I think it's millions of women that would love to go to the Cheesecake Factory, to the movies. I think some wouldn't even mind going to Starbucks for a nice coffee and a cupcake and going to have a nice talk.
So that's why we need y'all ladies to tap in and tell us what's an acceptable date for you. I mean, what's an acceptable date?
Are y'all even going on first dates, first of all? We got to stop playing around. There's people going on these dates they talking about. Seriously, brother, let's stop playing.
Nah, I think
Now
it's a
they
lot of
making
women that
exceptions.
go out
They
there.
got an exceptions list, so we have to first make sure that people are going on nice first dates that's better than this list before we have that conversation.
Well, no, that's what this list is about. These are places that they are saying is unacceptable.
And my
Unacceptable.
my point is, I don't think some people are even making it to those places. That's my point.
If they're not even making it to these places that's on this list, they playing the game wrong.
Well, if you first meeting
If you
somebody,
a Chinese baby, you know what I mean, give you a little weed and some Chinese food, then we not talking about this.
no, listen. If you a nice young lady and you going to have a first date with a man, I don't see too many places that would be bad. Matter of fact,
She said what? Kima said, "Take me wherever I'm gonna eat. I don't care." See, that's what I like. I like a woman that don't
makes
mind.
sense.
Right.
Yeah, that makes sense. You know what I'm saying? Because people will exaggerate their lifestyle. Is my point. Is my rebuttal to that list.
Well, of course, you know a lot of women want you taking places that they won't even take themselves. So we know that.
You know,
We know that.
the first date, you getting to know a person. You checking them out. You seeing, do you need to go to the highest class restaurants? If you need to go to the 5-star, you know what I mean. You don't start off at the 5-star.
Right. You want to see if it's worth getting
You
to the
know,
5.
y'all don't want everything on the first date. You don't want to start off at the 5-star. That's just my opinion.
That's why we asking these ladies, man. Hey, what they saying over there? You got anybody?
I want some ladies that'll tap in that won't eat a whole thing of them Red Lobster biscuits on the first date.
Cause you fucking lying. You know damn well you gonna eat the fucking biscuits.
And what they call that joint? It's the seafood joint. Everybody get the seafood.
Seafood boil. You know what I mean?
The big seafood combo from Red Lobster. I don't know too many ladies that wouldn't take that on the first date, man. If I'm lying, I'm flying.
Listen, some of these joints is crazy. Like, my thing is family functions. Somebody said, don't take me on no family functions. Which, first of all, I'm not bringing your ass around my family.
On the first date, you meet the family.
What are we even talking about here? You know what I mean?
You know you when you meet the family on the first date.
I'm still blown away about this, the sports events, man. Because I'm telling you, what if I got tickets to the Super Bowl? You mean to tell me I can't take you on the first date to the fucking Super Bowl if I got tickets?
Man.
That's crazy.
I think a nice Sixers game wouldn't even matter. I think that'd be a nice date, man.
Or even that, yeah, Sixers game, you know, Phillies game. I think that's good.
Breezy talk about, yeah, they tell him. Talk heavy.
So Uptown Sentiment, he said ultimately the list makes you be creative.
Okay, that makes sense.
It do make sense. I mean, it definitely make you creative. I agree with some of this shit on here. I agree with some of this shit on here. Like the movies, that's a no-go. I feel like we got to do something interactive.
Is that my man Uptown? I want to know what kind of first dates you play around with, Uptown. Tell us some of your type first dates, Uptown.
Right, Uptown. I mean, where you going on first date, man? Where you take your wife to on the first date? I mean, let us know.
Yeah, man. But, you know,
Shit the gym.
we're going to have a little show actually talking about the dating scene, man. Like, really what's going on out here. We're going to have some fun with it,
Dating
too.
scene is garbage.
Well, we got to
garbage
talk about
out
it,
there,
man.
We
We
definitely gotta
we
talk
talking
about
about what restaurants ain't on the list and all that. I
No,
want to know what's
so look,
going on.
The reason why this happened, right? It was a video circulating. Shorty, you know, went out on a date with this boy. He told her a time he was trying to pick her up and do this date. She was late.
Right.
She was late. So because she was late, they missed their spot. He wound up taking her to the Cheesecake Factory. When he took her to the Cheesecake Factory, he goes to get out the car, and then go to open her door, and she's like, I'm not getting out the car. She's recording him.
Oh, yeah.
I'm not getting out the car. And he's looking like, why are you not getting out the car? And she went on this rant about because he took her to the fucking Cheesecake Factory.
Oh, man, he should have drove her home 100 miles per hour.
He got back in the car and told her, like, this not going to work. This shit not going to work.
That's reasonable, man. Like, the Cheesecake Factory, something like that, that's reasonable on the first date, man.
But
we
no,
gotta
not
stop
only
playing.
that, though, you were late. I gave you a time. You were late. We missed our spot. Cheesecake Factory was available. And you telling me you're not going to get out the car?
What if all he can afford was the Cheesecake Factory on that first date? Come on now. He might not be a $500 table type of guy on the first date. We got to stop playing. All these guys not taking these women on no $500 dates, man. Don't play with me, man. For real, I get some fellas to tap in. Tap in, fellas. On the first date, y'all taking women out on $400 or $500 dates?
Fuck no.
Talk to me, baby.
Fuck no. They definitely not. What do you say? Dating pool got piss and fentanyl in it?
My man out of pocket, man.
Oh, man.
Yeah, I want to tap in because we got a couple bosses on here, man. Hey,
talking?
Breezy, when you taking them out on the first date? This my man right here. He said, no. Breezy, where you taking them out on the first date, man? On some real rap shit, man.
I gotta find out if you're worth it to take you to a 5-star on the first date. You know what I mean? I'm not about to drop $300-400 on the first date for somebody that I'm not even gonna talk to.
See, money not even the issue for me, man. I just hate when people press the issue and make like it's only a certain level or type
Or
of,
they expect that. Like what?
like that's all you deal with.
What makes you think you got 5-star qualities?
And sister, you pull out your wallet ever? Are you are you one of them women that say put your wallet away? Hey.
Oh, you don't have to spend a lot of bread. That's exactly right. You don't have to spend a lot of bread to go on a nice little date. You can definitely be creative. But apparently...
It's not restaurant week, bro. It's not restaurant week, bro.
And you don't have to eat on the first day. So that brings me back to this fucking list. Because the list says...
You don't have to eat on the first date?
No. That's what he said. He said, you don't have to eat on the first
You want a chick too shy to eat on the first day, huh?
Let me tell you something. Every female want to eat. I haven't met a female yet that didn't want to eat. I mean, a lady like to eat.
On the first date?
Yeah. Listen, I don't know too many women who don't like to eat. I don't know too many.
Well, some of them might be shy, like give me a salad and a water type chicks, man.
I never wanted one of those. I never wanted one of those.
You never know, man. That's crazy, man.
You know, but somebody, y'all can go skating. Yeah, skating is axe throwing. Look, keep throwing them out there for these motherfuckers. Yo, keep throwing them out there.
Talking about axe throwing. What you say, Uptown? We gonna spend about a good bean ski and have a good time, and we're going to figure out who's who.
I feel like a first date should be fun. It should be interactive. I mean, of course, you're going to go get some food. So I don't think you should just go axe throwing and don't nobody eat. You axe throwing on an empty stomach and shit. I think that's a little crazy. You definitely got to go out to eat and then add axe throwing or shit like that.
Yo, somebody said, I want to go out to eat. I don't care where we go. We can go get some ShopRite chicken. I heard that, man.
This motherfuckers watching this show like, yeah, that's my type of girl. That's my type of girl. That's all I gotta do.
Well, see, yeah, we gotta be real. We gotta be realistic, man. I like down to earth people, man. I like, just down to earth people where all that superficial stuff don't really matter. Where we can kick it, if we spending whatever.
Listen, if you in my pockets like that on the first date, and you don't like that I took you to the Cheesecake Factory, then that's a done deal. I'm good. I'm good.
Man, it's crazy out here, man. But what happened, man, this week with Tyrese ex or some shit, man? What's going on with
his
this,
ex-wife. Yeah. So, first of all, y'all owe Tyrese a goddamn apology. Every single last one of y'all who talk shit about that nigga owe that man apology. His wife got on a podcast a couple days ago and basically said that she would have never divorced that man had she had the right people in her ear. Saying that, the people that she had in her ear are a big reason why she divorced her husband.
Well, that's deep to say. If you married to me and people can get in your ear,
it's now too late, though.
We got trouble.
It's too late. I don't even want you back there. So they asked her, like, would you give it another shot? And she gonna say, yeah, if we both tried. There is no trying for me after you do that. That's a done deal. I'm good.
Well, you never know. Sometimes people get back together, rekindle and all that, man. Time tell everything.
No, I think there's limits. I think that some shit, ain't no coming back from some shit. For some people, not everybody.
Man, let me tell you something, man. Love is something, man. That man was on there crying, and he was doing a lot of stuff you never know. He might be waiting for her to say something like that, You never know, man.
Woman that had you fucked up. Had you fucked up. Out here angry, starting fights, drawing.
Yeah, that's for sure, for sure.
Real, man.
My man Tyrese, he trying to figure it out, though, man. And Shorty, I don't know what's making us say people was in her ear, but that's true in a lot of relationships, man. People can get in your chick ear. Definitely if you somebody to know, they gonna get in her ear. Yo, you can get this money, you can do this. If you divorce him, you might get $5 million. You don't know what the girlfriend might say. Man. They might be jealous that they single.
Listen, that's the one thing that people gotta stop doing. Putting people in their fucking relationship. You gotta stop doing that shit. What they eat don't make us shit. You know what I mean? Motherfuckers, it be motherfuckers that really just don't want to see you happy, throw all that shade at your mate, you know what I mean? Talk all this shit just because misery loves fucking company.
Man, listen, I don't play that type of stuff, man. That's kitty type rap.
What do you say? I can't even read that. The bottom of that is cut off. I'm not sure what you said because I can't see it.
You trying to put it up there so you can see it. But yeah, y'all gotta watch that, man. People in y'all chicks' ears, man, telling them the wrong thing. Y'all gotta have healthy girlfriends, and you gotta have some healthy guys around you, because somebody tell you the wrong thing. You know what I mean? It's crazy out here.
Facts, man. Facts.
But the older you get, you don't really tap into that type shit. How y'all feel about what's going on between guys?
The whole thing, the Israel thing, I think that shit is insane. A lot of innocent people is being hurt, and I think anytime you in war, when you have those casualties where there's women and children and a bunch of innocent people getting hurt, it's just it's a sad thing. It's a sad thing.
It's so many policies and stuff that they fighting over and old war terms and stuff. Like, it's just sad when people start getting bombed and, it's religious wars and wars over turf and money and all that. May God willing all that get figured out, man. God bless the souls of everybody who lost their life out there, man. For real.
All right.
Some real rap stuff,
Don't bring that shit over here to the U.S.
Man,
we don't need that over here.
We gotta do better, man.
We got enough shit going on.
We gotta do much better.
All right. But definitely, thoughts and prayers go out to Israel and everybody affected in that whole situation.
That's a good question, man. We appreciate everybody tapping in on the show.
Right, y'all been giving us mad love, man. Mad love,
man. Filoosh Talk, we going up. Numbers going crazy everywhere, man. We streaming everywhere. We gonna take this to the next level, man. We gonna have some very interesting shows, man.
All right, definitely have some guests on the show.
Next week we gonna have a special guest, man. For sure, man. We gonna start making this show a little more interesting. Turning up, telling you our story. We're going to get into the music, entertainment side. I got some artists coming up here, couple spitters. You know what I mean? We're going to do all that. We're going to have some, educated guys come up here, teach us some business and women.
Right.
We're going to talk heavy, try to help the youth, help my kids. Let's get busy, man.
Bring our kids up here. You know what I mean?
We want all y'all suggestions, man. All y'all suggestions. We want y'all tapping in with us.
We love when y'all interact. We love when y'all talk to us. You know what I mean? It definitely is all love.
And major shout out to Glockaware, man.
Definitely shout out to Glockaware, man.
He taking us from A to Z, man. We building, man. Home. And you gotta be around some real good people, man. You know what I mean? Shout out Philly Storm of Fashion. They got the big award show coming up out Jersey on the waterfront. I think it's the 25th or the 26th. Shout out EA, Yama, Fran, Daddy. I'm going to be at the award show. I want everybody to come out, man. I know Filoosh getting some awards because we putting that work in, man.
Right.
We putting that work in.
Shout out to our spiritual people, too. You know what I mean?
Sir.
Express spiritually. Shout out to that.
For sure.
All our spiritual people, man. We try to have people come up here, man.
Definitely, man. Bring them up here so they can sit down.
Right. So
we
got a question, man. Top 3 albums. That's what Uptown want to know. You want to know top 3 albums.
Hot topic, y'all. Top 3 albums that ever hit. Oh, man. That's a deep one. I'm going to give you.
Say Reasonable Doubt.
I got 2 or 3. I don't care what nobody say. 51st album.
You got to go Reasonable Doubt, Jay-Z album. That's a classic. That's going to always be a classic.
I'm going with 51st album, DMX first album, and Biggie first album.
Oh, yeah, you definitely.
Somebody tell me who touching them 3 first albums, man. We could talk, man.
Oh, you said 51st album? Nah,
man,
I ain't feeling that
Somebody's a fight guy question, man. What you say?
I said I ain't feeling the 50, John.
51st album?
Not over Reasonable Doubt.
I didn't say over Reasonable Doubt.
Said those are the top ones. Ain't nobody touching them, is what you said.
Let me tell y'all something, man.
Reasonable Doubt.
When 50,
a couple of those.
When 51st album dropped, man, I was hanging around one of my homies, man. He played this album from back to front every day. Like, I heard this in every car in the city, man. Like, some albums just touch the people. That's the same thing, like, with Biggie first album. Like, it just touched the people in a certain way, man. It crossed over to me. It was different than your regular rap. That's just my opinion, man.
51 Diamond. That's what I'm saying. That's why I said I will definitely put Reasonable Doubt over.
Reasonable Doubt is a certified, definite classic.
For me, it'll be Reasonable Doubt, Biggie first album, and I'm gonna say DMX for sure.
DMX first album, the feel of that joint. Oh my goodness, man! Come on, man.
It's crazy.
Any club, they still playing X first.
Even though Reasonable Doubt didn't, it still was. You can't tell me Reasonable Doubt wasn't a fucking classic.
That's always gonna be a classic.
That's gonna always be a classic. You know
always be a classic.
Shit, for real, any of his first 3,
Nas, it was written. I agree with that.
Yeah, Nas definitely.
I agree with that. My man B, NBA, I see you, baby. I agree with that for sure. Nas, it was written is a classic, man. That's something I played.
So his first 2 albums was definitely classics.
Yeah.
Definitely classics.
See, it's hard to put all of that in 3 albums, man. There's so many legendary artists.
Wu-Tang album, their first album. That's a classic joint.
That's why I say when you name 3, you boxing out so many artists, man. Definitely. It's hard to name 3.
Especially if you taking it back a few decades, I mean, it's definitely hard to name 3. Because in the 90s, them motherfuckers, they was going in. They was going in.
Nice, debut. Oh, man, we got some guys chiming in about this album stuff.
What they talking?
They saying who they think got the best albums, man. Oh, that's Gene. That's Gene, old. The hottest barber in the city, man. Keeping me sharp, man. My motherfucking barber, Gene Gillette, man.
Speaking of
Love
the
you,
barber,
bro.
man. Hey, shout out to Reese the barber, man. Look, I need a cut. I need to come through there ASAP. So if you watching this shit, set me up an appointment.
Yeah, y'all barbers important,
Thursday.
man. Y'all the voice to the
4
streets,
o'clock.
man. Y'all. You know, everybody come through the barber shop, man. Definitely the shop. I be at a lot of positive, thorough guys, man. Much love, man, on some real rap shit. The barber shop. Good place to be every week, man. You know what I mean? But yeah, next week, we tapping in. We gonna have some fun. We get ready to start turning up on this show, man. Y'all can, leave comments. Tell us what y'all want to talk about. But we got some hot topics coming up, man.
I'm definitely excited about having a guest.
For sure.
I'm definitely excited about that.
We're going to have quite a few guests, man.
Show.
Quite a few guests coming up here for sure, man. Thanks for everybody that been reaching out, man. Keeping it real.
Right. And we appreciate it, man. We appreciate it. Keep watching. Keep sharing. Keep tagging us in things. We appreciate all the love. So, you know what I mean? Just keep, what? I ain't had to get a haircut in 10 years.
Stop that, Arch, man. You stay with a Sharpie from Gene. Yeah, my guys, man. I love all y'all. I'm glad y'all tapping in, man. We turned up. I want y'all tapping in every week. And I want y'all talking shit with us, man. We ain't talking about ourselves. That's good that we got everybody interacting, man. We trying to change the vibe out here, man. That's what Filoosh talk about. We gonna have fun with our folks. We want to hear your opinions. We want to figure out how we can get better too as a community.
Right. And again, as always, it's gonna be like being at a family barbecue, man. We just having fun. Just having fun. So definitely keep tapping in with us. You're gonna see the progress as we go. It's definitely we definitely plan on doing big things.
Man, the love been real, bro. I can't even lie. People been giving us a lot of love. Say they've been tuning into our episodes. People been sharing it. Family been shouting me out, sharing it, saying tap in live tonight. I've really felt the love, man. God bless everybody who with us, man. Filoosh Talk, baby. We coming.
Shit, coming. We here.
We here?
We here.
Well, we got to take over then.
We here to stay, man.
We got to take over then.
We here to stay.
Major shout out, y'all, man. Good show. Thanks for tapping in. Next week, we're going to be live from 6 to 7. We're going to have some interesting topics to talk about.
Special
tap in
guest,
with us.
You know what I mean? Tap in.
For sure. Filoosh Talk, baby. Closing out, man. Phillies, pull it out tonight.
Yeah.